Unbelievable. All the gloves are off. The SEC has finally played their hand. Contrary to what they've said in court in the Library case and in the Ripple case, they're now claiming that essentially token sales in the secondary market, not primary sales, not sales from Library, not sales from Ripple, but the tokens themselves, as they trade on the secondary market, well, those are securities transactions. We see this transcript here from the Library court case. Well, the SEC was asked right in court, are you trying to say that anyone that buys the LBC token, that would be a security transaction of some sort? SEC attorney said the following, no, not necessarily, Your Honor. That's not our position. Our position here today is about Library's offers and sales, not necessarily where the LBC originally came from, but LBC's offers and sales of LBC as an investment contract. So today we're only focusing on what Library did. We're not talking about the Library token. Quite a bit different from this filing we just saw, where they are pointing to the Library decision and stating there is no difference. There is no distinction between investors who purchase crypto assets directly from the issuer and those who purchase them on a secondary trading platform. They're all securities. All the tokens themselves are securities. Again, this would be analogous to saying the oranges or the orange groves are securities. We've always said, oh, that's ridiculous. The SEC wouldn't do that. That is precisely what they're doing. And if you notice, to show their authority to do so, they are pointing back to Library, that court case. And this is, mind-boggling because they were asked by the judge. Is that what you're saying? No, not today. Today we're not saying that, but tomorrow we are. This is the deal. The judge in the Ripple court case, she has to address the secondary market because this is all entangled in the SEC's lawsuit. They can say, well, not today. We're not talking about the secondary market sales, but they're going to use these decisions and they're going to quote them and they're going to try to encapsulate the secondary market sales by the decisions by these judges. It's absolutely mandatory. I think we have a shot. Normally, they probably would not address the secondary market, but specifically with John Deaton there, he wasn't able to get it out of this bozo judge in the Library case, but hopefully in Ripple case, we'll have more success there and she will address it. And I'm not even asking for a favorable ruling versus secondary market or a specific ruling. Just tell us how the current law applies. If it's stupid, if it's bad, well, we can try to change the laws. We can put pressure on Congress, but we need to know today, do security laws somehow apply to the actual tokens? That seems silly. It seems stupid, but the judge needs to address it because otherwise the SEC is going to take these decisions and they're going to claim that's what the judge is saying. That's what they did with Library. They're going to do it with Ripple as well. The judge better cut them off at the pass and let them know what she truly is saying. And I sure hope that she does. We'll have to wait and see. Now, this was a story. It really bothered me about 6 months ago when it broke out, but now Gemini, they've filed suit against the Digital Currency Group. And of course, this encapsulates Grayscale and the Bitcoin Trust. About 6 months ago, I said, well, I don't know if anyone could absorb the whole trust, if anyone's willing to do so. And my big fear is all those Bitcoins come spilling out on the market, could cause a lot of disruption. But we've seen the moves by BlackRock and Fidelity, and I bet you one of those would step up and be willing to buy the whole Bitcoin Grayscale Trust. Very possible, and that would have very little, negative effect. It might actually be a positive one if they're able to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved, and I think they're going to sooner than later. And so this doesn't trouble me as much, but it just shows Digital Currency Group is in all sorts of trouble, Gemini as well. And that's what happens when you lean in on Ponzi-nomics here. And, you think that the fun times are going to last forever and you're not built for bear. Eventually, your time comes, your ticket's pulled. And I think it's happened for both these entities. Specifically, Digital Currency Group, I don't think is going to make it through this, downturn. Unfortunately, they could have been the first spot Bitcoin ETF, and I don't think they're going to make it. Now, first one to market usually captures the market. I don't think it's going to be them. It's going to be BlackRock, Fidelity, or one of the heavy hitters. And it's unfortunate. They were a trailblazer here. One of the first to bring, a product that people could invest in crypto through their brokerage accounts and their traditional means, but it just doesn't look like they're going to make it there. And even if they don't, through bankruptcy, need to spin off that trust, I bet you they do anyway, just because they're likely not going to be the first, and therefore they ain't capturing that market. Interesting, we had a Massari report on the XRP ecosystem. The only thing I would bring up, a lot of these Massari reports, they're commissioned by people. And in this case, this one was commissioned by Ripple. Still think it's a good report. The data in it is real. You just have to remember it's not quite, to the same level as something that's totally, separate and independent. This is being paid for by someone. And you just always have to remember that with a lot of these Massari reports, you can, go to the bottom of it, like the one for 1 inch that was, commissioned by 1 inch. Just always keep that in mind. And that's the thing with crypto. You have to really read the fine print there. But again, I read through it, thought it was good. I didn't see anything outlandish. They have a big name. They're going to make sure they do good work. But again, it's a commission report. And specifically, you wonder, why did Massari have this pivot where before they didn't like XRP and now they're doing these reports? Well, Ripple's now an advertiser with them is really the reason. Bitcoin. We see BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says that Bitcoin could revolutionize finance. Why are they saying this now? Well, they're saying it because of the demand there. Someone brought this up the other day, and they're like, oh, BlackRock doesn't really believe in Bitcoin. They're just saying this because of the dollar signs. Well, yeah, that's with all of their products. How many bad financial products are pitched out there? Stupid funds that underperform the S&P, all sorts of stuff. They don't care. They just know if there's a market there, if there's demand there, they're going to offer it to their clients. And they don't want to see people on their own pulling money out of their funds and putting them in crypto. So, of course, that's the way businesses work. Their customers want it, and they're going to provide it. And I really believe BlackRock's going to get it done, along with Fidelity and a lot of the other big ones. But, they don't have to be, Bitcoin maximalist and really think that, Bitcoin's great to have an impact here. They just know there's demand out there. And so they're going to offer it. And I think it's going to give people a clear runway to get into this space. You're going to see a small portion of people's, investment portfolios, allocated to cryptocurrencies. But in totality, it's going to be a ton of money flooded in. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.